be civil in the comments. Just want to put it out right at the start because I know how toxic the Minecraft community can be. Much like Terraria, I've been playing Minecraft for over a decade. Don't like saying that. And during my time playing, I've had some thoughts of ideas and features that I think could be added to the game, so here are 6, thought of one more for this video, changes that I'd make to Minecraft. Here's one more voice screaming into the void. As we all know, the inventory in Minecraft is very bad, and it has been for a long time, and my ideas to fixing it is nothing new. There's the usual make it bigger argument, which it should have been done a long time ago, as far as I can tell, it has never changed in size since its inception in 2009. And about a year ago, I saw a dev say that adding more slots only pushes the problem down the road and would be needed to be fixed again. So compressing the items is the best solution. I disagree. The current fix with bundles does not help the situation because one slot can now fill up to one slot's worth of space, which somewhat works when you've got like 3 seeds and a few flowers from venturing on the overworld, but when you're mining and getting stack sizes of at least 20 to 40 of junk, the bundle is going to fill up instantly. And for the argument that you'd need to make them bigger again in the future, yes you will, and you still can. So how would I make it bigger? Simple, add a slot on either side of the rows, and add 2 more, making it 11 by 5, meaning you can hold up to 55 stacks in inventory compared to the 27 we have now. And for the stacks, this may be blasphemy, but drop the 64 stack limit. It was an arbitrary number made in 2009, and it's only adding to the inventory problems. So if the stack size was increased to 999 or 255 depending on if this Java limit I heard is true, each ore you would be mining would fill up 1 slot of space, meaning you'd be able to carry more stuff you find and mine for longer, and junk blocks would be the only things I'd really take up more than 1 slot after a lot of mining. Building large projects would be made much more bearable with less trips needing to get more blocks out of storage. And as a side, chests could be made bigger too, so storage systems could be smaller and cause less lag because man does this game run poorly. That's enough complaining about that. I've only got one more change based on the complaint, and don't worry, that won't be as bitchy as this. So the villages are being updated. Maybe. At some point. And they're being rebalanced because they're too powerful. They are. All good so far. The change is to have villagers from different biomes sell different enchantments, but not at the highest level. I'm not a fan of this because it feels like a nerf because Mojang don't like trading halls, which I agree suck, as well as to make the player look for more biomes to get the enchantments they want, when I think the biome itself should give you a good enough reason to search for it. Now, how would I improve the villages? Simple. Have a check that if they're not in the biome they're from, and don't have a bed, room to move around with, or villages to interact with, they become unhappy, increasing trade prices and lowering the levels of their enchantments. This would incentivize players to make or fortify a village so that the villagers would be safe and happy, allowing them to keep villagers safely and have a project that they can work on. Also drop the too expensive limit, the Ender Dragon gives more XP than that. Armor trims were an interesting addition to the game, and I like the idea of turning the netherite armor into a trim. See, I don't think all the new ideas to the game were bad. I think these trims that have effects for the player could be expanded on. For example, a glow trim for the helmet that uses a blaze rod and gives the player a light that they can use to see in the mines, around the level of a redstone torch. Or sticky boots allowing the player to hang off the side of a block and let them place a block below it. Those were the 2 I came up with, but I'm certain people can come up with more and better ones than mine. Quivers have been considered for the game for as long as I can remember, so here's my proposal on how they could be added. Add a slot near the offhand slot that the quiver would go into, and have it hold up to 3 stacks of arrows that would be used from top to the bottom. For example, you could have arrows of harming, followed by slowness, and then a stack of normal arrows. This again would help with inventory cleanup by not having arrows just sitting in your inventory, having their own little spot, as well as, giving the character a little quiver on their back. As someone who does a bit of work in gardens, composters annoy me. You put in an absurd amount of plant life and only get a small return in bone meal. I'm going to ignore how plants become bones and focus on how they work. While you can sprinkle fertilizer onto plants to help them grow, it is best used mixed into soil. So I would make it so when a composter is used on top of dirt, it would create enriched dirt below it, which when used in farming could either make crops grow faster or give double harvests. The current system would still be in place for all other types of blocks, so redstone farms wouldn't be broken, as well as increasing the amount of bone meal you get. Since 1.19, people have been theorising about what the big structure in the middle of the ancient city could be. I've always seen it as a statue of the warden, but some people seem to think it's a portal. If it is, I think the dimension it would take you to should fit with an ancient city. It takes you to the past/ancient dimension. This would be a great place for nostalgic people like me, where you'd be able to get the items that were removed or changed throughout the years of development. Stuff like the alpha, grass and leaves, old cobblestone, the rose, and the nether reactor core, mainly because I want to use it in decorations. You could also add the old bow, which could fire as quickly as you could click, and to balance it, it can't be enchanted or repaired, as well as the punch TNT could be added, made with sulfur instead of gunpowder. Which brings me to using the old mob textures and reverting changes that were made, like making the creeper like they were when they were first introduced, melee enemies that explode on death. And to get sulfur, some of the blocks could be covered in sulfur dust, like redstone. Also, making it so that zombies and skeletons can wake you up at night if your house isn't well lit, and making the old farm animals as jumpy as they used to be. I think this would be a good way to shut up people like me. So there are my ideas. Bit of a shorter video, and let's hope the comments section isn't a complete dumpster fire. Assuming nothing else goes wrong, the next video will be Metro 2033. It just needs to be edited. Tally-o.